Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CADS. We're here tonight with some joyous news. Spurs won a game, and our big Romanian boy is back. Radu Drăgușin back on the pitch, doing what he does best, flinging himself into tackles and heading the ball away. The top knot, I'm sure, helps in a magnificent manner. I am joined, as always, by a couple of good friends. Ashley, how you doing?
Hoping this is not the doctor calling me on the phone, but I can't find where the phone.
Not Dr. Tottenham, please. No, we avoided that.
Can you guys
And
just give me a breath?
we'll
Hey,
keep going without you, don't worry. And David, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Very happy. I missed the match live yesterday, so because I was flying back from England from Christmas in England, and so I watched it. Actually had a bit of insomnia and watched it between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock this morning, and at times it was quite difficult to stay awake. Nearly solved my insomnia, but managed to cling on.
Yeah, this was the first game in a very long time when my kids sat down and actually watched the game through me. And my mum was sat next to me as well, and she's a West Ham fan, so no accounting for taste.
Yeah.
But we sat through the game and they were like, "There's not a lot happening, is there?" And I was like, "No, not really." But we scored the goal, and it was disallowed. And then we scored another goal, and we were waiting to see if it could possibly be disallowed for anything, which is a reason why I really dislike VAR. Just this having to wait, this delayed gratification annoys me. I'll be honest.
The death of joy. It's the death of joy.
Death of joy, yeah. And then we scored another goal, and I was like, yeah. And then I looked at it, and I was like, that one's getting ruled out. There's no way that one's getting. Yeah, I was right. So 3 goals scored, 1 counted, but it's hey, you only need 1, right? 1-0 to Spurs. That's the song everybody's always sung so much, right?
You got to hand it to the away fans. They need to be,
they were fantastic.
I mean, I don't know how many Palace fans were there, but they were louder than the Palace fans.
And the Palace fans are known for being a bit boisterous. They're known for making their presence felt. So to be heard against them is pretty good going.
Yeah, I thought the away fans were really fantastic. You could hear them all match.
All match, exactly. Even over here, you could hear them as well.
I'll be honest, anyone that puts their hand in their pocket and pays the money to go and see a game every single week, you've got to be, even every other week, you've got to be impressed by that. I am.
Well, they're that desperate. They're that desperate to see us not lose that they're prepared to shell out to see an away game.
Yeah. Well, you got more chance of seeing us not lose if you go to an away game right now. Was it with the best team away from home this season?
Yeah. Just slightly ahead of the Gunners on more goals scored or something like that. But it's unbelievable. 9 games and, the most points. Why can't we...
Talking of goal scorers, I have a question for you, gentlemen. I was looking through some statistics earlier today, and who do you think is the most lethal finisher in the Premier League in 2025?
Is it Richie? No.
It is not Richie. No.
Is it Archie Gray?
No.
What is the context? Most lethal finisher of shots, goals to shots, or what's
the shot conversion ratio? That shots to goals. Archie Gray's probably up there because he doesn't take many shots, but
one shot, one goal.
As good. One shot. He had one as well against Nottingham Forest.
I'm being an idiot.
Yeah.
Is it a Tottenham player?
It is indeed a Tottenham player.
It's not Van der Ven, is it?
It's not Van der Ven, no. It is.
All right, then I give up.
Well, it's a player we have talked about a fair bit. It's Johnson again. Ole.
It's Brennan Johnson, yeah.
Brennan Johnson. So let's see. Haaland averages a goal every 96 minutes. No other player with 13 goals or more is less than 140 minutes. So, I mean, this is all from the BBC. But his shot conversion rate is 27.8%. Okay?
Who Johnson?
Haaland. That's very good. That is really good. Brennan Johnson has a shot conversion rate of 33.3%. 1 in 3 shots.
Yeah.
That's pretty good going.
And I've got to say, I'm really not liking these rumours I'm hearing about him going this winter. I think we're making a mistake if we let him go. I really do. I think there's a future star there. You know, I don't think he's going to be a star on the right wing, but he's going to be a star in a front two, I reckon.
Yeah, playing off someone maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to find the right team and the right manager who wants to play him is the thing.
Yeah.
I appreciate what he did for us. I mean, his goal won us the Europa League. Thank you very much. So, you know, the guy's a hero, the guy's a legend. He'll be revered. He'll probably never have to pay for another pint again when he's in North London. Well, our part of North London anyway. So, you know, I think it's probably best for him if he moves on, because under the current manager, I don't see him getting enough time.
No.
I think that Kudus gives more to the side overall, but in terms of just having someone who can score a goal, there are clearly none better than our own Brennan Johnson.
Yeah, and it's pretty scary when you say we've like lost Solanke, Madder's son.
Yeah,
and now we're going to lose Brennan Johnson and Decky, and now Brennan Johnson. It's just basically anyone that scored for us is either injured or sold.
Absolutely, or is not playing.
Yeah. So, and of course, he may or may not be featuring in the World Cup. Wales have not yet qualified. Is that right, Ashley?
Yeah,
going through the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I think they may still have to play Italy if they get to the final. So, yeah.
Right, yeah, that's tough.
My Welsh Italian friend says Italy's no great shakes. So, all right.
Italy are no great shakes right now, but there's still a bit of a hotbed for young talent. They've always got players coming through. It's just have they got the right manager to mold them into a team and get something out of them? It's always the case, isn't
it? Yesterday's game, as I said to Stu earlier, was actually one. He said his son said when he got Christmas present, it was the happiest day of his life. And I was going, well, yesterday when we won, recently, Spurs won. That was the happiest day of my recent life. We won. Yay.
I enjoyed it, but I'm still at the point where I want to be convinced that this isn't a flash in the pan. I mean, we've had so many recently where it's been, hey, this is a great result, but the performance isn't great. I want to see good performance as well as the, you know, just the result.
Well, to be fair, Stu, those 2 goals that were disallowed, they were actually set up quite well. And that was from some good play. So they weren't just fluky or anything like that. And yes, maybe they were slightly offside, but those were well set up. And the move where he hit the post, that was a good play by Odobert. Yeah. So we actually did have some surprise, some offensive interplay and some nous, which we certainly haven't in a lot of the games recently.
Yeah, the first one, it was a shame that Bergvall was offside in the build-up to it, because it wasn't the ball across to Richarlison that put him offside. That was a really good ball. Porro, I think it was, put it across.
Yeah,
really good ball. And can we see more of that kind of thing, please? Because that was exactly the kind of thing we want to see.
Can I ask a question about that? To people that know more about football than me. So I think if Bergvall hadn't been the cause of that goal being chalked off, I suspect Richie was also offside when that ball left Porro's boot. I think it would have been offside for Richie as well. But something doesn't sit very well with me was how far back the VAR went to find an infraction. I'm not going off on one like I did with the Liverpool match where I was accused the referee of being bent and so forth. But I was
same referee, wasn't it? Same referee.
Was that okay? Well, there you go. Well, he is bent then. No,
bloody useless is what he is.
I was watching. I was going, well, I can think of sort of plenty of goals given against us, in the past where there's been like a foul earlier in the build-up, and no earlier than that Bergvall offside, and I just think that either the linesman calls it offside at the time, or once you're about 4 passes down, then you don't go that far back. Otherwise, where does it end? Where does it end? What I think it would have been ruled out for Richie being offside as well. So I'm just a bit confused about how far back VAR goes.
I think from what I saw, Richie was onside. Richie was onside when the ball was played from Porro. It was the ball that went into Bergvall. Bergvall was way offside, and he came effectively back onside. But even when he received the ball, he was offside.
No, and no, I have no dispute about that. I just have a dispute.
But that was like 4 passes before the final ball came into Richarlison. So yeah, you do have to wonder how far back they go. But nowadays, the lines. I will get to you in a minute, Ash. Don't worry. Nowadays, the assistant linesmen are expected to hold off and not raise the flag straight away because it will be reviewed by VAR later on. They don't want to make a mistake, which I think sucks.
Well, okay, I'm going to let Ash say what he had to say, but I'm going to come back to that.
No, I was going to just ask because they have this thing called second phase, and that's what Dave's alluding to. And I don't know when that cut off with the second phase, but it did seem like that wasn't directly involved in the actual cross and goal scoring. Bergvall was just kind of, ambling along. But anyway, I don't know what the rules are. It was a good setup, that bottom line, and including the second where Kudus outside of the boot finally did something again. I thought that was a nice setup as well. So we weren't bad actually yesterday. They actually put an effort, but I think you're totally right, Stu. It could still be dead man walking, So, and it's driving Charlie apoplectic that he's still.
Yeah, I bet it is. Yeah, Charlie's probably feeling it right now. The thing that was encouraging was we managed to win this game without Romero and without Xavi. So I know Xavi has not been the creative force that some of us, myself included, were hoping for. But he has been, I think he's got more passes and been involved in more big chances than a lot of other players. I think he's the second highest in the league or something, behind Cherki, or there may be one other player ahead of him, creating more big chances than Xavi in the league. And Xavi's played less minutes than all of those players as well. But without him, without Cuti Romero, we still managed to put in a good performance. Not great, but it was good performance. It was okay, I would say. And we didn't look massively at sea. I mean, I know Crystal Palace also had players missing. Let's be fair about that. They had significant numbers missing.
Yeah.
But we had good players out.
I feel like we shouldn't underestimate. We were away to Crystal Palace, who's not a bad team at all. They're well organised. I think they're not on great form at the moment, and they did have some injuries. But we're away to a team that's usually well organised, well set up. Doesn't make it easy to play. Got forward, who I think I heard is the second best scorer behind Haaland in 2025 calendar year. So he's, we didn't have he's no slouch, Mateta, at all. And we kept a clean sheet. And I think when you're away, you have to earn the right. You can't just whereas I expect us to sort of impose ourselves on teams when we're playing at home, which unfortunately we don't do. But when you're away, I think you have to make a certain allowance for the fact that the home team's going to, give you some grist to chew on. I thought first half a lot of the football was pretty dire from both sides. I thought the ball was in the air an awful lot of the time. It was like watching, what was his name? Is it Graham Taylor? England team with just the ball in the air all the time. And I mean, it was really poor football for a lot of it. But every now and again, we got the ball down, and we could have had 2 goals that were offside. They were pretty marginal, pretty close. Well, Bergvall was a long way offside, but we went over that. So no, I mean, I'm reasonably pleased with that performance. It's an away performance where you have to grind out results sometimes. I don't know whether we've turned a corner or not. I think I'm tired of hoping we've turned corners, but I'll take the win.
Yeah, in terms of turning the corner, I think that's something that's just going to be borne out by time. I mean, we've all got our own opinions. I think people are probably a little bit bored of hearing mine by now, and I will absolutely bang that drum again if we lose against Brentford. But we've got Brentford, Sunderland coming up. These are games where we have an opportunity to get ourselves on a little bit of a run. Brentford, Sunderland, Bournemouth. Bournemouth are not going to be easy. They've been a bit of a bogey side for us recently. Yeah. And then we've got probably the form side at the moment, Aston Villa. After that.
Yeah, wow.
But that's on the 10th of January. We'll have new signings by then, right? We'll be well in. We'll have at least one new signing.
if we have anyone
Plus
to make signings.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
We've got 2 Champions League games in January as well.
We do, but that's not until later January. So
20th,
we've got a bit of time.
20th and 28th.
It was great to see Radu back
Dortmund
as well. It was great to see Radu back. That was really good news. Thought Danso did pretty well. He scared me when he got his yellow card after like 5 minutes. And I think that was maybe my negative about the match was I was a bit disappointed at how easily we got opened up for some of the time. For example, that yellow Danso card, I just thought, right, one pass and we were wide open. And I still feel we're more fragile than I think we should be under a supposedly very pragmatic and defensively minded Thomas Frank. It's strange to me that we get opened
I
up
will
so
say
easily.
though, that yellow card bugged the hell out of me because that Crystal Palace player kicked the floor and fell over. He was not bundled over by Danso. And then later on, Archie Gray was given a yellow card for the kind of thing you see 50 times in a match.
I was much more angry about the Archie Gray card. It came out of nowhere. That being 3 fouls, 2 yellow cards. I mean, how are we going to win this match? Insane.
Again, Jared Gillett, our favourite referee, he is truly, truly awful, that man, as a referee. How he's managed to get to where he is, I do not understand, because from what I've seen, he looks completely incompetent. Personal opinion only. But
By the way, David just mentioned Danso. Apparently, he had something like 18 defensive contributions, man of the match. But get this, somebody else had 11 defensive contributions, unexpected. Richarlison.
Richarlison.
Oh, Richarlison. Yeah.
He was,
Well, I couldn't believe Danso got man of the match. I thought Richie was man of the match for me.
Yeah, there you go.
Archie Gray has been nominated man of the match from the supporters. The HSBC vote went to Archie Gray.
And the official
considering he scored the goal and played a pretty good game.
Yeah, he was decent.
He did all right. Yeah.
I thought he was decent, but I thought Richarlison was a monster game from Richarlison. It was
what?
But it was so chaotic. It was so chaotic and like such a mess that in some respects it was perfect for Richie. He's the master of chaos. And he was.
As long as you don't put
great.
it towards his head, he's not that great in the air. I mean, he started out as a winger, and you can really see it. There's still a winger in him. Yeah,
that was a nice assist from his head, and he almost got another assist with his head when Dragou came on and put the ball over. He's
still pretty. He's got some hops. That guy, he's not that tall, but he's got some hops. And even the assist Dave's just talking about, he outjumped those other defenders to knock it backwards. I don't recall what he did. Maybe similar for the Radu chance.
Radu, it was quite. He headed it quite a long way back into the box to get it to Radu, who had only just come on. That would have been a fairy tale comeback, wouldn't it? If he'd just walked on the pitch and scored.
That was first touch.
Was it the Odobert one? He headed it nicely into his path as well.
That as well, yeah.
He's good with his head. I just don't see him as winning the ball in the air against the defender pushing him. He's not particularly good at that, in my opinion. There's still a lot of talk that we're looking to sell him. MLS clubs are interested. Saudi clubs are interested.
Yeah, right. Well, we're getting rid of anybody that scores for us, aren't we? So that's we've got to get him out the door.
Archie Gray's obviously on the chopping block now. He's starting to get some goals. So.
Yeah, we don't want to. We better get rid of Archie Gray. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've got a guest came on. At least
A has joined us. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good guys. Sorry, how are you guys doing?
Very good. How are you? How was Christmas?
Good. Yeah, not bad. I spent it moving, moving house.
Still moving.
Everybody wants for Christmas. Let's just pack up all of our belongings. At least you got them into boxes and wrap them up nicely, I'm sure.
Yeah, that we did. That we did. Can I ask you a favor, please? Please, can you WhatsApp me the link so I can join on another device?
Of course. No problem.
Thank you so much. I'll be back as soon as I get that one. Thanks, guys. See you just now.
That's who was calling me when it started.
Okay. Well,
it was Dr. A.
Mr. A. I've now got to get that sent through to him. Won't be minutes. Oh, he sent me a message as well. There we go. Sorted.
Yeah, so while you're doing that, I'm just going to carry on singing Richie's praises. We don't always get.
You sing Richie's praises. Look, this is not getting edited out, so you go for it. Sing Richie's praises.
He did, as you said, Ashley, an absolute bang up job defensively. I mean, he really helped out in a lot of situations. He knitted play together from time to time. I mean, that interchange with Odobert for the post, for the one that hit the post, the Dragou chance. There were quite a few places where he was involved. And he was a kneecap away from getting a goal, and maybe sort of a double kneecap away from getting 2 goals. I thought that was one of his best displays for us. I thought he was really, really good.
Why do you think that? Maybe you already said it, because the type of game, the chaotic game, maybe he fits into that sort of game. I don't know. Why do you think?
Yeah.
Why do you think that happened yesterday?
Yeah, because I think he's the master of chaos. I think he thrives on chaos. I also think, and I'd need to watch it back again, but I have like a theory with Richie, is that if you play him completely isolated up front, then he really struggles. Like probably most players, but some players are, like Alan Shearer used to be amazing for that. He'd be on his own up front and he would always get a free kick or manage to hold the ball up and lay it off after 5 minutes. Richie's not very good at that. But when you get a player playing a bit closer to him, and I think maybe Mwani was getting a bit closer to him, it gives him something to work off. Because what Richie does when he's on his own is he tries to buy the foul almost every time. So that's why you always see him on the floor. He's trying to buy the foul. That's all he can hope to do, because he knows he's not going to hold the ball up. And I think when he has a player closer to him, he knows that he can do something, and so he does. And maybe it was Mwani, maybe Kudus, maybe Bergvall even. It felt like we were more cohesive. He's been very isolated sometimes, and he gets, he's had a lot of stick for being completely ineffective, but I think he's not been in a position where he can be effective. So
you just mentioned him, but what do you think about how Bergvall played sort of essentially number 10 yesterday in place of Xavi? What do you guys think about his performance until he unfortunately went off and nobody's talking about what happened yet?
He was very isolated. So taking the stats from another podcaster, we'll name them, Milo, on The Game Is About Glory. He tracks the number of touches that our number 10s in games have, and he said he had 24 touches in this game, which is the second lowest across the entire season. The only time that a number 10 has had fewer touches was Xavi against Liverpool. He only played 30 minutes. So that is a bit of an issue.
He didn't get into the game, did he? I don't think he is a 10, really, is he? I think he's a deeper lying midfielder than that. So fair play to him for going out and doing his best. I'm a bit worried about the injury, because I was watching it afterwards. At the end of the match, I went back to like 2 minutes before he fell down injured and was watching him, and he was sort of limping and trying to sort of shake something. I think he's done a hamstring. I could be wrong.
It looks muscular. Looks muscular. I hope it's frankly taken a knock, and that's what caused him to, the muscle went dead.
I don't think it was a knock, because he was running. He was on his own. He was running back, and then he suddenly like hopped for a moment, tried to shake something off, and then for about a minute or two he was trying to shake something off. It didn't look like an impact, but I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it was an earlier impact that I didn't catch. It looked like he did something muscular.
Well, since we're running out of number 10s, when are we going to put that LWB in as number 10?
Well, with Sarah away on international duty, Gray needed further back. Bergvall injured now. Xavi out for another 2 matches. We're starting to get low on numbers, despite having. Odobert is probably going to be our number 10 for the next one, because Odobert plays number 10 for France.
There's also Brennan Johnson. There's also Brennan Johnson, who I wouldn't mind seeing.
There's a couple of...
Yeah, okay. Let's not play him as number 10 though. Let's play him as a off the striker, second striker.
Yeah, or play him on the right, where I don't particularly like him, and put Kudus as a number 10, which he did against PSG this summer.
And Everton. Yeah, playing a weird double 10, double rep.
Yeah. So there's options, but yeah, actually, just a quick note is that I thought when I looked at our bench, I thought this first team had better do something because we don't have an awful lot of players that can make a big difference on that bench. You know, Tell, Odobert, and Johnson were the offensive options on it, and Scarlett. Okay, but let's not be silly. So it was Tell, Odobert, and Johnson to make a difference offensively if we didn't get anywhere. I didn't like the sound
Well,
of that.
he could go instead of double pivot, one defensive midfielder and two box-to-box midfielders.
Yeah, but if Bergvall's
further
injured
forward
and Sar's away, who is that other box-to-box midfielder?
Gray, I think, is going to be a great box-to-box midfielder.
Yeah, I was like, let Gray and Bentancur play further forward.
Okay.
Both of them.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that's a good
because
option.
I'd be okay with that.
Because they've been holding him back a bit, right? In this role. Then we'll see whether it's really him or the system.
Good point. In other words, play Gray as the number 6 and then have Bentancur and sorry. What were you saying?
Palhinha
is the destroyer at 6. Don't worry about him getting on the ball or doing anything.
But let the other two play further forward and bomb forward.
Give Gray and Bentancur a bit more chance to roam and be a little bit more involved in the game. Because I think Bentancur is an extremely good player who has been held back and the reins have been put on, the brakes have been firmly applied with him. Yeah. And when he actually gets forward and does a little bit more, he looks so much better.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you.
But he did pretty well against Palace. He did well in Paris against Palace as a 6. I thought yesterday. I thought he was decent.
He's completely different for Uruguay because he doesn't play that role for Uruguay. He's brilliant for them, playing more as a box-to-box, a little bit further forward, and he's one of their mainstays. So,
do you remember a couple of seasons ago when he was playing a lot more forward? He actually got two lovely goals in a game, and gunning into the box, which he's not really doing now, which, as you said. So,
that was before the Aston Villa game and the injury that came along and put the knackers on him.
Season under Conte, he was brilliant. When Conte was brilliant, him and Kulusevski really changed the season for us. But he played a lot.
That first season,
yeah. Speaking of, is that guy ever coming back, or do we just say he's not coming back?
Kulusevski, I have no idea. Even the press is still asking questions about him and Solanke, and every single press conference, Thomas Frank says, "I will tell you when there is something to tell you."
Yeah,
but at the moment, there's nothing. He's been seen training on grass. That's about as much. But then so is Maddison, and Maddison is months away from a return.
Yeah, that's meaningless. And what's weird, I mean, it's strange how unreliable the club is on updates about the players, because we kind of had a hope for Richie and for Decky in December. I mean, it was maybe even November, when the injury came in, but early this season
they were saying November he'll be back in November. They were saying, and Solanke as well. And now it's all gone quiet on that. There's even talk that he needed another surgery. Solanke.
Yeah. And there's no news about Decky at all. So, I mean, what can you do? We've got no news, and we just seem to be unbelievably unlucky with injuries. And don't know what's going on with Decky.
Decky did post on his Instagram that he had a meeting with the surgeon that performed the surgery on him, and he'd been given the all clear. So, I mean, that's positive. But when is he going to be ready to feature on the pitch? I mean, the right side really isn't a problem for me. I don't think right side is an area where we have issues. Left side is the area we really need someone in.
Well, and number 10. I mean, I'd love to see Decky playing, ahead of Xavi any day of the week.
Kudus plays on the left for Ghana.
Okay.
Does he? I thought he didn't enjoy playing on left, because that was one of the reasons they talked about him wanting to leave West Ham, was because he was being put out on the left by Graham Potter, and he prefers playing down the right.
He prefers it, but he plays there for Ghana.
Speaking.
I genuinely think he could be a bit more effective playing down the left because he's on his left-hand side, his left foot, you know.
And he keeps turning back and slowing things down.
Yeah, I am.
Well,
Unfortunately,
you might. Can you mute Ashley just in case
Yeah,
we're
I'm
hearing
going
stuff,
to, don't worry.
stuff we shouldn't be
Yeah.
hearing?
Well, he is muted. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. I was worried we were going to hear medical.
Confidentiality is key with us. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah, and it would be nice to mix things up because I think Kudus seems to have maybe got a little bit predictable, and so if he could swap wings from time to time,
yeah,
maybe swap with Moani, but Moani's very left, isn't he? But I mean, when we play Odobert, I thought in the first few games he played for us when he first signed, I thought he played on the right and looked better on the right than on the left. And I just wonder whether we couldn't sometimes be a bit intelligent when we're playing both Odobert and Kudus, and just for a 10, 15, 20-minute period of the game, or swap them over, see if we can footballers aren't very intelligent. That could surprise them.
Just tell them. Just say, guys,
swap.
Make it a surprise for the opposition when you're going to swap. Sometimes Odobert goes down the right. Sometimes Kudus goes down the left. But Kudus, if you see Mohammed, if you see Odobert go down the right, go down the left. Wilson, the same for you.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like we could mix things up a little bit sometimes because all teams know that we're going to try and spray the ball out wide right to Kudus. That's our more or less only attacking move.
Yeah, it's been a problem this season. I'm still hopeful that we'll actually spend some money and bring in a decent left-sided player. Kenan Yildiz would be my choice. I think he's great.
Is that the Turkish guy?
Yeah, it's the Turkish guy. He's at Juve.
Yeah, he looks really good on paper.
Yeah, but he loves to drift in, so he'd be kind of stepping into the 10 space as well. So making things a little bit. But he would be a real presence. He'd be a real option to play down that side. And he's not going to be a Son replacement, but what's it they say in the Moneyball? We'd be replacing him in the aggregate. That's what we need to do. We need to improve the rest of the team to replace the goals.
Would he come? Would he want to come to us in our current state?
Probably not. But then he'd be leaving Juventus, who aren't great either. So Juve are not in great form. They're not playing well. They've gone through 3 managers, I think, in the last year, or they're on their 3rd. It's not a bed of roses there, certainly.
Interesting. Did you see the photo with Paratici, Vinai, and Xavi?
I didn't see the Xavi. No, I saw Paratici and Vinai together.
During the match.
Somebody snapped a photo of them having supper.
Okay.
I don't know if it's real. That's the thing. You can't be sure at this stage. And I haven't spent the time going to it.
Why would Xavi be there? You can see Vinai and Paratici together, but why would Xavi be there?
Xavi, the coach. Xavi Hernandez.
Right. I thought you meant the player. I thought we were selling him. Really? No, I definitely haven't seen that. No. That would be interesting. Yeah. Certainly with the talk that Paratici is on his way out.
But I saw it. Yeah. I just didn't know if it was real. That's the thing. But somebody posted it.
Don't know, do you?
And also, one of the rumours of the reason why Paratici wants to leave is that he's been, saying that Thomas Frank should go and has been overruled. So
yeah. Although apparently the ITK, one of the ITKs, have said that Paratici was told on the day that Daniel Levy left, well, he's gone, you might as well go as well.
Okay.
Which is
but I don't know. But a little bit the same with asking, is that real? Is that photo real? I sometimes think there's some people a little bit like the Iranians talking about France being unlivable and and the Russians all that social media turbulence around countries. I think there's a lot of it around Spurs as well. People just making crap up to destabilize the club.
Why would you give him a new contract if that was the thing? Why would you give him a job?
Exactly. Yeah. It all sounds like rubbish to me.
Yeah. I can see why he's unhappy with Thomas Frank though. But let's not talk about that tonight. Let's enjoy the fun times. Let's enjoy the win. And games coming up which we can continue this good feeling. As I said earlier, we've got Brentford up next on the 1st, right? Yeah, 1st of January, New Year's Day. So we have finished 2025 with a win. There we go. Going out in good form. We came in bad form, having lost to Newcastle. We're going out in good form, picking up a win against Sunderland. Win against Palace. Brentford up next, followed by Sunderland, who are doing extremely well. But Sunderland are one of the few teams that makes less goal-scoring opportunities than we do. They're just taking a lot more of them. Their conversion rate's a lot better.
Calling Dr. Tottenham.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we could start to see a little bit of a turnaround. Maybe we could play ourselves into some form here, which would be nice. January, there's a few winnable games in January.
Well, the next two games...
Maybe not Dortmund, maybe not Villa.
But the next two games, we might be without a true number 10. So, and also Bergvall. So, okay.
Yeah. Depending on what the injury situation is with Bergvall, yeah.
There are some challenges. It's not easy peasy the next couple of games either.
Does anybody actually see Bergvall as a number 10 for the future? I don't. I see him as a box crashing 8. I see him as like a slightly fitter Frank Lampard.
Could I don't know. Could Gray actually not necessarily? Could he play? Or is that what A was saying, that Gray should be more as a box to box with Bentancur? He could play there, yeah.
Yeah, I think the most likely thing is Odobert will play there, and maybe Moani or Kel would go to the left. He won't change too much.
No.
Good.
And I think that's the minimum change. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Because I don't want yet another system. Let's try and get this bedded down and get some repetition, even if it's not the same players. At least it's the same system, and the players can sort of because this is what we were saying last week and the week before, is that it's not just that they don't really know what they're doing, but it also shows up defensively. Then we're not set up right. I think that's one of the reasons we get taken apart quite easily. But it's also one of the reasons why we're poor offensively. Is when you've got the ball, there's no spontaneity because you don't know where anybody's going to be. You have to look up and where will they be and then make the pass instead of going, I know that, that Kudus will be there, or I know that Odobert will be in that position, so I can just do a blind pass into that area and I know he'll get it. We're not at that stage yet, and I think that's why we're looking so poor. And
there are signs, though. I think the last 15 minutes of that game, we had signs of improvement. I think Spence with Odobert, there's a connection already, and that's missing with the other players. So when he came on, there was a lot more instinctive play from Spence's side, who was having a very good game. And that showed. I think we're just like a millisecond off. And in this game, that's all you need to be put under pressure.
Absolutely.
So there's signs, there's some small signs, I think, that things are getting better. But he's got to release a bit of the handbrake. And maybe he doesn't want to release the handbrake until he sees more of us being spontaneous, or more of those passes sticking before you start committing people forward. Because if you start doing that, then you're out of position. It's quite easy to play through. Not that we're not easy to play through,
exactly
as it is. Yeah.
It was quite interesting in the press conference. Somebody put it to Thomas Frank that Arne Slot says that when a manager comes in, the first thing they do is they work on their passing progression, their passing maps, and the way that they want the players to move the ball around. Then they work on their defense, and then the last thing they do is set pieces. Whereas Thomas Frank seems to have done it the other way around. It's set pieces first, then defense, and then finally, maybe one day we'll get to the passing. Thomas Frank turned around and said, well, the set pieces seem like a low-hanging fruit, which, yeah, I mean, if you go from 0 interest in set pieces to 25% interest, it's going to make a difference. So, yeah, difficult to say really where we're going to go.
Didn't our goal, was a corner?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 points from a set piece again.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I think we need a little bit of context here, because he was coming in to a team that just won the Europa, but was the shambles otherwise.
Yeah.
And if he had lost the first few games, this pressure that he's seeing now would have been way more.
Yeah.
So I think that would have been immediate. So I think they've looked at it that way, which is probably not the greatest thing to do holistically, but you can see why he did it first. So I think we're in this phase now that we would have gone through a bit earlier. If we had started that way. So hopefully it comes.
Hopefully it comes. I think that's where we all are. I mean, I don't think anybody here actively wants Thomas Frank to fail.
Charlie does.
No, even Charlie. If things turn around, Charlie will be happy enough to see us playing football and winning games.
If we turn it around, it will definitely not be because of Thomas Frank.
Well, yes. Well,
no.
We criticize him when it doesn't work. So when it works, I guess you got to also give him his props, right? So
if he gets it working, I mean, again, is it just about getting points on the table, or is it actually about being entertaining and putting on something that people want to watch?
From where we are now, I think we need points.
We could do with some points, certainly.
Yeah, we need points.
And Danny Blanchflower said the game is about glory. It's not about waiting for the opposition to die of boredom. Yeah, okay. A little bit of that kind of thinking, please.
That Europa League run was all about just getting results. It was not about style and glory. It was all about getting the results, and it worked.
It was also prioritizing the Europa League over the league, because we were playing our best team in those competition and not in the Premier League.
Here's another thing. Speaking to that point, is that we must be doing something right in the medical room in the respect with Van de Ven and Richarlison, who was a sick note up until this season. Less hamstring issues, more knocks and things like that, but they must be doing something right. The actual managing of Van de Ven and Richie, I think, is remarkable.
Well, we talked about this when Thomas Frank came in. Only one manager had more hamstring injuries than Ange Postecoglou last season, and that was Thomas Frank. So Thomas Frank's history with hamstrings is not particularly stellar either. The thing is that the previous manager had worked with the medical team to change the way that Van de Ven runs and the way that he moves to try and reduce the strain on his hamstrings. And I presume Richarlison, who was suffering from similar kind of injuries, had the same kind of thing. I mean, if it looks like it's going to work, why would you only do it with one injury-prone player instead of applying the same methodology to a second one? So again, is this about a change in the way that we're playing, or is this about just reaping the benefits of some earlier decisions being made?
Oh, he's definitely making less recovery runs than he used to.
That's true.
That's apparent in the game. I see that a lot. Maybe that's something.
Oh, we're not playing such a high line, so he's not having to run back as much.
We've had some games where we play very high line.
Yeah, sometimes we are, but I guess it's not all the time. It's not incessant. Yeah, but yeah, there have been some games where we've been pretty high up.
All right. So we're getting towards the end of the show. One very quick round table. What's everybody's New Year's resolution for Tottenham?
Can we say be less shit?
There we go. That's A's. A's is be less shit. David, what's yours?
What New Year's resolution do I want Tottenham to make and actually do, contrary to me when I make a New Year's resolution? Yeah, just better attacking. just more constructive attacking. Oh, no. Stop signing 10 shit players for 10 million and sign one good player for 100 million. Let's stop the hundreds and thousands bullshit and sign some proper players. Yeah, that's my resolution.
There you go. Ashley.
Well, all of those are good ideas. Mine a little bit more humble. If we can get into the playoff knockout round of the Champions League, by the way, we're still in that, with a good chance of getting into the knockout round. Maybe even if we win those last 2 games, even into the top 8, that would be fabulous. And then you never know. What did Frank apparently say? Well, we're not in the Champions League because we're a Champions League team because we won the Europa League, but we've been doing all right. Got lucky. It would be nice to see something just move on just a little bit, wouldn't it?
Mine would be for Thomas Frank, and mine would be just raise your sights a little. Right? Just don't look at mid-table. Lift that head, raise your sights a little, and let's see what we can bloody well do when we actually try. That's all I ask.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
I've got a more. No, I've got a proper one. I've got a serious one. Sorry,
I thought the first one was excellent, but go for it.
I would like to see the club everyone start pulling in the same direction. It looks to me that there's always stories about us, people disagreeing crazily and we not sure which direction we're going with, whether it's players or playing style. Whatever it is, I would like us to see everybody pull in the same direction. And I think that would make a big difference to us.
That would be nice.
Excellent resolutions.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you've managed to watch this far, please click on that subscribe button. Follow us on Spotify. Do all those lovely, lovely things. Think of it as our Christmas present. Your New Year's resolution should be to listen to CADS just a little bit more often. Thank you, everybody. I will see you on the 2nd of January. I'll see you next year, everybody.
Pundits just chuckle, ignore them alas. The CADS chat shit. To the left and the right, we're taking a hit, so you know it's true. Hear the banter ignite. Raise your voice loud, shout it out tonight. The CADS chat shit. We'll sing it again with a smile and a grin. Oh, here's to the boys, let's make it a trend. With a wink and a nudge, let the fun never end. Last week we claimed it'll be 5-0 for sure. Now we're debating if we'll score at the door. Did you see that last miss? What a fiery debate. As we pull up our chairs and we narrow our fates. Hot takes flying high, we're the kings of the pub. While the lads on the pitch just need a good rub. From the top of the table or right back to the ground, you'll hear us all chatting that familiar sound. The CADS chat shit. To the left and the right, we're taking a hit, so you know it's true. Hear the banter ignite. Raise your voice loud, shout it out tonight. The CADS chat shit. We'll sing it again with a smile and a grin. Oh, here's to the boys, let's make it a trend. With a wink and a nudge, let the fun never end. We'll argue with a passion like it's do or die. With half-baked logic and a mischievous eye. Trust me, mate, we'll climb up the ranks.